Find the solutions of 9x squared minus 4 equals 0 by factoring. Maybe you can try this on your own. If you like, you can pause this video. Our knowledge of special products can also help us solve quadratic equations by factoring. Kung mapapansin nyo kasi, hindi na natin magagawa yung ginawa natin sa first example natin. Although we are still be expressing this as a product of two binomials, hindi na nga lang natin magagawa yung ginawa natin na mag-isip ng number na kapag pinag-multiply, magre-result sa third term, tapos pag pinag-add, magre-result sa coefficient sa second term. Kasi meron na lang tayong binomial dito. Meron na tayong dalawang terms, 9x squared minus 4. So, paano kung hindi mo na magagamit yung method kanina? Maybe you can think of other ways to factor. Fortunately, itong given natin, 9x squared minus 4, is a difference of two squares. Marirecall natin sa lower level na ang itsura ng difference of two squares ay, of course, dalawang squared number na pinag-subtract. Paano ko nalaman na difference of two squares itong 9x squared minus 4? Kasi, si 9x squared ay product ng quantity na magkamukha, which is 3x. So, this is basically 3x times 3x. Naging 9x squared. In the same way, yung second term mo, which is 4, product din ng dalawang quantity na magkamukha, which is 2 and 2. 2 times 2 will give you 4. So, kapag parehas silang square, tapos pinag-subtract, alam mo na yung magiging itsura ng factors nila ay yung term na in-square para makuha yung una. Yun yung ilalagay mo dito sa unahan ng parentheses. And then, yung quantity naman ng ni-square para makuha yung second term, yun naman ilalagay mo dito sa pangalawang term. Parehas yun. Now, ano ilalagay ko dun sa sign nila? Since this is a difference of two square, alam natin na ang magiging itsura ng factor nila is a minus b and then a plus b. Ibig sabihin, sum nung square na quantities na in-square para makuha sila. Tapos difference ng quantities na in-square para makuha sila, multiplied together. So, we multiplied together, sum daw, tsaka difference ng quantities na in-square para makuha yung original terms mo. Nahanap mo yung factors kaso hindi pa yung solutions. How are you going to do that? The zero product property can help you para ma-express mo to as 3x minus 2 equals 0 and 3x plus 2 equals 0. Bakit natin ginawa yan? Because again, sang-ayon sa zero product property, if two real numbers are multiplied tapos nag-result sa 0, then maybe yung isa sa kanila 0 or parehas silang 0. If that's the case, pwede mo nang i-equate yun parehas sa 0. And then, you can solve for x. Solving for x also means to isolate x on either side. Kailangan mag-isa lang si x. So, kailangan ma-eliminate yung mga kasama niya. How are you going to do that? Unahin nating alisin yung constant, yung term na nakabukod. Add tayo ng 2 on both sides. Negative 2 plus 2 will be 0. So, meron ka na lang 3x. And then, on the right side, 0 plus 2 will give you 2. Hindi pa tayo tapos kasi si x may kasama pang coefficient na 3. Paano natin may eliminate yan? Then, we can undo. Kagaya ng in-undo natin yung subtraction dito, i-undo rin natin yung multiplication dito. This is 3 times x. Para ma-undo yung multiplication, we need to divide. Divide ng alin? Yung quantity na gusto mong mawala. If this is 3, edi i-divide mo siya sa sarili niya because a number divided by itself will be 1. At hindi mo na ilalagay yung 1 sa baba kasi any number naman na multiplied by 1 will be the same number itself. So, pwede na lang yon x equals, you have to make sure na equal pa rin sila hanggang sa huli. So, kung nag-divide tayo ng 3 on one side, ganun din dito. Can we simplify this further? Kung hindi, iyon na yung isang value ng x natin. 2/3. Hindi pa tayo tapos kasi pwedeng si 3x plus 2 naman yung 0. that's the case, simplify natin. Less tayo ng 2 on both sides para mawala si 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So, meron ka na lang 3x equals negative 2. Divide natin by 3 para mawala yung coefficient na 3. Gawin natin on both sides para equal pa rin hanggang sa huli. 3 divided by 3, anything divided by itself is 1. So, meron ka na lang x. And then, sa kabila, meron kang negative 2/3. Ibig sabihin, x can either be 2/3 or negative 2/3 to satisfy this equation. Pwede mong itry yun, i-plug in mo itong dalawa. Tig-isa muna, plug in mo dito sa x. Pag nag-equate sa 0, ibig sabihin, tama tayo. Now we are asked to find the solutions of x squared minus 10x equals 25 equals negative 25 by factoring. So once again, we need to make sure kung ang ating quadratic equation ay nakasulat sa standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Unfortunately, yung example natin hindi pa, pero madali lang naman siyang i-rewrite. You simply need to make sure na naka-equate siya sa 0 by adding 25 on both sides. Bakit 25? Kasi gusto ko nga na maging 0 si negative 25. And negative 25 plus 25 will be 0. So, you're halfway there. 0 na siya. Naka-equate sa 0. On the left side, kailangan mo na lang tong i-rewrite. You have x squared minus 10x plus 25. So, maybe, you can use the method that we used sa ating first example. I-express ito as a product of two binomials kung saan ang ilalagay mo dito ay yung in-square mo sa first term, which is x, and then yung ilalagay mo as their second terms respectively will be the numbers that if you will multiply will result to your third term, and then pag pinag-add mo magre-result sa iyong coefficient sa middle term, sa second term, which is negative 10. Or maybe your knowledge again about special products can help you kasi marirecognize mo that x squared minus 10x plus 25 is a special product. Specifically, a square of a difference. Square of a difference. Bakit ko nasabing special product sila? Kasi pag in-expand ko ito, square ng first term, twice ng product nila. Oops. Twice ng kanilang product, and then square nitong last term, negative b times negative b will be positive b. Ganyan na ganyan yung itsura nito. X squared, twice ng product, and then b squared, b squared. So, ang in-square ko to get 25 is 5. Ang in-square ko to get x is x squared is x. And then, pag pinag-multiply ko daw yon twice, magiging negative 10x. 2 times x times 5 will be negative 10x. So, tama tayo. If that's the case, edi alam na natin ang magiging itsura nito will be x, oops, let's use the same color, will be x minus 5 and x minus 5, or simply x minus 5 squared, and then naka-equate daw sa 0. Nakuha mo yung factors niya. Pwedeng ito, pwedeng ito. The zero product property can help you para ma-define mo ang kanilang solution. Kung ano yung magiging sagot sa quadratic equation na to. Because the zero product property states that if two numbers, real numbers, are being multiplied, tapos nag-equate sa 0, then either one of those numbers is 0, or both of them are actually 0. If that's the case, pwede mo na lang i-equate parehas, or since magkamukha naman sila, equate mo na lang yung x minus 5 sa 0. Let's do this on this side. X minus 5 to 0, and then solve for x. Add ka ng 5 on both sides para mawala yung negative 5. you have x equals positive 5. Which means, to solve this equation, kailangan mo ng x bilang 5 para mag-satisfy. Because 5, plug in natin siya. 5 squared minus 10 multiplied by 5 equals negative 25 daw. Check na natin kung tama. 5 squared is 25. Then you have negative 10 times 5, which will give you negative 50. Equal nga ba yun sa negative 25? 25 minus 50 is negative 25. Pareha sila, ibig sabihin, tama tayo nung nakuhang value ng x, which is 5. That is the solution to this quadratic equation. X squared minus 10x equals negative 25.